Microsoft Cloud Storage is going to sea with Project Natick, a massive undertaking that places data storage centers more than 100 feet underwater. The global cloud storage market is expected to exceed $200 billion by 2027, so Microsoft is innovating the industry by introducing data storage containers that can be completely submerged. These containers require less infrastructure and land, plus they're more environmentally friendly. They can be easily built upon and bring faster data and internet services to coastal regions, improving data service worldwide. Is Project Natick the future of data storage? Let's explore Microsoft's ambitious design and find out. Along with Amazon and Google, Microsoft is one of the largest spenders in the data center market. 2020 saw a record-breaking third quarter for the industry, as data center spending reached $37 billion led by these companies. But Microsoft is on a mission to make data storage more affordable, accessible, and environmentally friendly. And it all starts with Project Natick. This is the Northern Isles Data Center, a 40-foot, 12.19-meter long data storage container loaded with 12 racks containing a total of 864 servers. In spring of 2018, it was deployed 117 feet, 35.66 meters below water right down to the sea floor. It sat there for 2 years, functioning and being monitored before being pulled up in 2020. The Northern Isles was deployed here at the European Marine Energy Center, a test site for tidal turbines and wave energy converters. The perfect place to test out new data storage innovation that would make data centers portable, cheaper, and more sustainable. The interest in placing a data center deep underwater was based on the hypothesis that a sealed chamber on the ocean floor could provide ways to improve the overall reliability of data storage. On land, there's corrosion from oxygen and humidity, frequent temperature fluctuations, and servers can easily be jostled by staff. After placing a data storage container at the bottom of the sea, Microsoft found that their hypothesis was correct. This storage container has 1/8 the failure rate of an on-land data center, but they also discovered plenty of other reasons to switch to underwater storage. The reliability of the data center has made the Microsoft Azure team think about how these containers can help them deploy tactical data centers anywhere in the world. More than half the world's population lives within 120 miles, 193.12 kilometers, of the coast. So with underwater storage, data would have a lot less further to travel to reach coastal regions, providing more people with faster and smoother service. The project also has potential to help the environment by reducing infrastructure needed on land and using wind or even hydropower. A few important things were considered in the creation of Project Natick. Of course, durability was important. The steel containers are very well sealed to prevent leaks. Size was also a huge factor because these containers had to be able to fit on things like cargo ships. A manageable 40-foot length means that these centers can be more quickly manufactured and moved around, then built upon if necessary to create even bigger underwater data centers. Another factor was sustainability. Once retrieved, the data storage containers can be completely recycled, and no land has to be cleared or used for the data centers, a solution to land shortage. Putting Project Natick underwater also meant looking at how data centers are kept cool. Having them deep under the sea means that freshwater resources vital to populations don't have to be tapped. It takes billions of gallons of water to keep on-land data servers temperature controlled. Development of the underwater data center concept started at Microsoft in 2014 during Think Week as a way to provide quicker service to coastal regions and save energy. From there, the project built a small, experimental container and deployed it for 105 days in the Pacific Ocean in 2015. This 38,000-pound, 10-foot by 7-foot, 3 by 2.1 meter container was lowered into the ocean and carefully monitored by both the Azure team and marine specialists. Inside the container are the same kind of servers you'd find in an on-land data storage center. They're modified for a marine environment with controlled electronics and a cooling system on the outside, a strong steel shell with heat exchange, and outputs for retrieving information when it comes back to the surface. Thanks to the consistently cool temperatures under the sea, Microsoft was able to apply more energy-efficient designs. For example, heat exchange plumbing such as that found on submarines. As for where the electricity comes from, putting a data center underwater offers lots of options. It can be generated from renewable power sources like wind, solar, or even wave and tidal power. Of course, getting the center into the water requires some thought. Deployment and retrieval both have to occur on calm days with low wind and waves, and these processes require tons of robots and winches. But this is a small complication compared to building and maintaining giant data centers on land, and it reduces the latency of data services in coastal areas all around the world, a huge and lucrative win for the company. So, what exactly is so profitable about data services that Microsoft is investing so much time, thought, and money into developing underwater data storage? Well, data centers are the backbone of cloud computing, and they're needed for storing, processing, and distributing massive amounts of information. Today, the demand for data centers is higher than ever, and it will just keep growing. But while demand is high, so is the cost to build and maintain them. The average yearly cost to operate a large data center ranges from $10 million to $25 million. A little less than half is spent on things like hardware, software, power supplies, and networking, while another large portion is spent on maintenance of applications and infrastructure. The rest of the money is spent on heating, air conditioning, taxes, and labor costs. The average cost for a data center building is about $125 per square foot to upwards of $200 per square foot. Infrastructure like switchgears, chillers, generators, and IT capacity ranges between $280 per square foot and $350 per square foot for a 100,000 square foot facility. In 2019, Google pumped about $13 billion into offices and data centers. At the time, they had 21 in total. In 2020, they spent another $10 billion on centers across the US. The billions spent on building and maintaining these centers is worth it for these large companies. During Microsoft's second fiscal quarter of 2021, the company generated a whopping $16.7 billion in commercial cloud revenue. That's up 34% year over year. Microsoft Azure sales were also up 50% year over year, and the company's intelligent cloud business unit hit $14.6 billion in sales. But Project Natick will save the company money. This project shows that it's possible to deploy data centers faster, turning it from a construction project that requires permits to a manufacturing one that can be streamlined. For example, building the vessel that housed the experimental data center only took 90 days. Data centers on land are all different, with different terrains, environments, and temperatures. Underwater containers can be mass-produced and made for very similar underwater conditions. So has Microsoft discovered a way to make billions while saving billions? It sure seems like it. As for the future of the project, there are now talks of scaling up Project Natick so it can power all of Microsoft Azure's cloud services. This might require linking many vessels the size of the Northern Isles container, but it would mean complete data centers underwater. This could change the way companies store data as well as the way we experience it, completely changing an industry that probably has plenty more innovative transformations in its future. Microsoft is also making the leap from underwater to undercover. They're preparing to begin a massive top-secret data storage project for the US government. The $10 billion Department of Defense JEDI Cloud contract will see Azure storing highly sensitive and classified government data, another massive win for Microsoft.